So after prison, what was your first move? What was the first thing that you focused on?
Man, as soon as I got out of prison, the first things I did was went to the studio. I wasn't as good as I am now though. I had to shake back, you know what I'm saying? I was gone, so I had to redevelop my style and get everything together. But I went through training camp. That was my training camp the first couple of years. So, that was the one thing that I couldn't wait to do, is just go to the studio and be around family and friends.
How have you changed since that first studio session outside of out of prison to now?
I taught myself how to be more efficient. I taught myself how to. I just developed a crazy style and a crazy work ethic. Like, you can't really teach this, but I taught myself how to be accurate in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard work, but it's paying off now. So I'm excited about everything that's been going on and about my performance and what I'm doing with my music.
How did you get to meet Akon?
One of my partners is Akon brother. His name Omar, and Omar would come to the studio with one of his other friends, a dude named Miles, and they always was like, man, we gotta bring Akon here to hear your music. So one night they just pulled up to the studio with Akon, and I played some music, and Moolah was one of the first songs I played, and he kept listening to it over and over. He was like, man, this shit is a hit. This a hit. And I played some more records. He was like, that's a hit too. Play some more, that's a hit too. And he was like, man, I want to find a way to be involved in, your process. And even with me being signed to Quality Control, he was like, man, I want to step in and co-manage you with Reese. You know what I'm saying? So him and Reese, that's my managers. They co-manage me.
And now you're signed to Motown, right?
Yeah.
How's that? Instead of going to independent.
I'm actually signed to Quality Control.
Mm-hmm.
And Quality Control, has a deal with Capitol and Motown.
Now, do you feel like that's a better route than going the independent route?
Well, I mean, I still feel independent. To be honest with you, no matter, what, it's gonna always be where you be independent, because even with having a label, you know what I'm saying, you still gotta do all your own work. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So being part of, Quality Control is an independent label, and you still have to grind like you're independent. It's just that we have major label platforms. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they use the major label platforms to filter your material out there to the world. Mm-hmm. But you still have to do all the independent stuff on your own, shoot your own videos, do this, do that. So if you're not a person that works, it's gonna show. You know what I'm saying? So I think my hustle definitely helped me persevere in this situation that I'm in.
Do you see yourself owning, having your own label and, putting other artists?
Yeah, I have my own label now. It's called My High Music Group. Mm-hmm. And I'm just waiting till I get to the upper echelon of my career. But I got some good ideas. I'm learning every day.
Right?
Yeah.
You're getting closer. I mean, how did you feel when your song was played on ESPN? Highly questionable.
It felt good, especially to see Poppy. Just see Poppy singing it. It was crazy. That's when I knew. I was like, man, shit, I made it now. You got Poppy singing your shit,
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
So you seen it happen. Did they let you know it was going to happen before it?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. People were saying, you getting ready to come on ESPN. So when I put it on, I caught it and recorded it and put it, people just went crazy over it. It was like a good thing.
What kind of feeling does that give you?
It felt good. I want him to sing some more songs. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep on making hit records so he can sing all my shit.
Sometimes, the song is bigger than the artist.
Yeah.
And last night at SOBs, I didn't know the lineup. I was there supporting a friend. And when your song came on, I was like, oh, that's my song. And everyone kind of did the same thing. It was lit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel like Moolah kind of took off and blew up bigger than me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it felt good to see people just have fun last night and party to my record. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely motivating. You know what I'm saying? It was a good thing last night.
Are other artists reaching out to collab with you?
Yeah.
So
I've been doing some collabs.
So, like, who? Can you give us
being
like?
nosy.
Yeah, of course. I want the exclusive.
I work with Rick Ross. I work with Wale. I can't tell you everything.
All right. Well, then I'll just take that.
But I've been working though. Just know I've been working. You know what I'm saying? I have some dope collabs coming.
Yeah, I mean, Double XL even, pitch. I guess you did your pitch for the Double XL freshman cover, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you didn't make the cut, but
Yeah.
you still have next year to look forward
Yeah.
to. How does that make you feel?
I ain't really tripping about the Double XL freshman list because, man, just to be honest, man, I just feel like can't none of them dudes fuck with me. And that's just me being real, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to just show the world that. So, I'm bigger, I feel like a magazine cover can't justify my talent. You know what I'm saying? I just got to prove myself. I ain't look at it like discouraging that I didn't make it. I just look at it was like political with that. It wasn't organic. You know what I'm saying? And salute to all the dudes that was on the cover, but shit, they can't fuck with me. And that's just what I believe in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you might end up with your own cover.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I'm Young Greatness.
Yeah.
And I'm confident in me. Bar for bar, song for song, You put me in a room with whoever, and I'ma shine. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Did you see the VH1 Hip Hop Honors? How'd you? I just gotta ask. Do you know the lyrics to Biggie's verse?
Hey man, I'ma just say this. We ain't even gonna go too far into that. I'ma just say like sometimes, when you get up there, like I performed last night at the Late Show, and sometimes you can't hear. Just being honest. It was a part where I couldn't hear last night, but I had to stop rapping to hear. And I think that's what happened with Rich Homie Quan. I think he kept trying to rap, knowing that he couldn't hear himself, instead of slowing down and getting back on track, with the music, and he just kind of went left. So I mean, it happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at him crazy. I'm pretty sure I know he know the song. You know what I'm saying? But it happens to the best of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done seen a lot of artists mess up, but they good at playing it off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just think he didn't play it off good enough. I'd have been like, hands up, sing. I'd have came with something just so I don't look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, you're on the stage with Little Kim, and there's millions of people watching. I mean, I guess he did say he was nervous.
Yeah.
And he had technical difficulties, but.
Right.
What's next for Young Greatness?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm coming with a whole bunch of new music, so get ready. For these next couple months, it's gonna be a big splash for Young Greatness. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all the new releases and everything I have, coming in the next couple months.
Are you also interested in acting as well?
Yeah, I've been working on some things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been working on some stuff.
You faced a lot of adversities, right?
Yeah.
And Hurricane Katrina was one of them. So tell me how that was going through that experience.
Well, I'm asking this question. I answered this question so many times to her.
I know.
To her, I don't like answering it because, I mean, just think about if you was in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Man, you'll be kind of tired of people talking about the same shit when you know. How would you feel if you was trapped on a roof for 3-4 days or trapped in one building for 3-4 days, man? That shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Then had to swim through the water, so you got to put yourself in a position. Imagine if you had to swim through some water where they had dead people, they had different body fluids, you had gasoline, everything. It just, think about that. It was life-changing for me and for everybody else who went through it. So, I think that's one of the things. I think Katrina was one of the things that really stirred up the spark with me. And, that with everybody really, because it made you say, what you gonna do with your life? Because you see how fast this happened. What if it happened again? Shit, it's hurricane season again about to be. Or if not, right now. If we could have a Katrina tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like it's one of them things that just made me just go even harder, man, and don't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow ain't really promised. A lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of people, you know, life was changed by that. So I just, you know, I use that experience as, you know, part of my motivation too.
Yeah. Now, you relocated to Houston after that, right?
Yeah, I went to Houston. I stayed there for, I stayed in Houston for almost 3 years. And that was an experience that, you know, that's when I really started like honing my skill, like skill.
Yeah.
And build a lot of relationships. And from, you know, from that, you know, I wound up going back to New Orleans, getting in some trouble, going to prison. And me having that time in prison, sitting down, that was the time that really made me say, man, you're away from what you love. Because while I was in prison, you know, I had to witness some of the biggest stars like start their career. Drake, you know, there's a lot of people that went to popping around the time I went to prison. So I was in prison reading magazines, listening to music, like, damn, I know how to do this. That could have been me, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like fucking up by putting myself in this position. So coming home from prison, I came home with a lot of aggression and ready to, you know, show the world, you know, what I was made of.
During Katrina, you didn't you were looking for your daughter for like 2 months, right?
No, not 2 months. That's too long.
What was that?
It was probably it was a couple weeks. It was like 2 weeks. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks I was looking for her. And I mean, I didn't, you know, it was, well, you didn't really know where a lot of your family and friends were, you know, during, you know, Katrina. So it just was a matter of, I knew they was in Houston, but it was a matter of somebody, you know, getting cell phones again and figuring out what's the number, where this person at, like that. I had to go through that with everybody, not just my daughter. It was like my daughter, cousins, family, friends, you know, because people ain't have phones and all this, so you had to find people again. So, you know, eventually everybody started getting back in touch with each other.
So in your music, do you talk about a lot of that situation or just about growing up in New Orleans?
I mean, at one point in time I did, but I don't really be tripping about it no more because, man, you can't talk about Hurricane Katrina forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it's definitely always that spot in your head, you know, because everybody was doing something weird or they moved somewhere where they wasn't from. So I just think that it's gonna always be a place, you know, in my heart for that situation. I met some good people in Houston, some people that's like some of my closest friends. You know what I'm saying? Houston like a second home to me. I actually have a show in Houston on the 17th, and I can't wait to get there so I can see some of, you know, the people that I ain't seen in a while, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of feel like New Orleans to me, you know what I'm saying? I love being in Houston.
You mentioned earlier that your best friend helped you with your career. How did he help you exactly?
Well, he was the one that believed in me and gave me the confidence and the skill set. Like he was like my coach with music. He showed me, he helped me, come up with a style, delivery, just basis of music. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of hard work. Sitting inside all day writing raps. Like just planning for this right now. Way back then, the average person would have quit. I think I asked my CEO of our label, what was he doing in 2003? I think I said, you didn't even have Quality Control in 2003. And that's when I started really like rapping. That's when I was getting into it, you know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you, like, being in New Orleans, how hard it is to make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm signed to an Atlanta-based label where there's so many different opportunities. If you have money, you know what I'm saying, you could really just, in the right resource, so many resources, you could take over and be a powerhouse tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think being from New Orleans, it's hard to make it. It's so hard, man, because we don't have no resources. We don't have no kind of real connections there. Like, I can't go to VladTV in New Orleans. They don't have an office there. It's crazy because two of the most biggest labels in history of the music industry is from New Orleans. So it's no different, there's no avenues there, none, for artists to get their music out there or to get heard or even get noticed. And, I want to be one of the artists to change that. I want to, blow up so big to where I can, you know, give all these different resources to some of the talent that's down there, because they have some real dope artists that's from New Orleans. A lot of them, man. You know, you name them, man, you have a lot of them.
I mean, did Birdman ever reach out to you?
Yeah, I spoke with Slim before.
Before you signed with Quality Control?
I was actually signed with Quality Control, but they didn't know. And they was, you know, they was reaching out, trying to see if they can make something happen.
Yeah. How do you think that would have been if you were with Birdman?
I mean, me personally, I feel like it'll be crazy right now. Just the kind of person he is, and me being from New Orleans, I feel like he'll have the hype. My hype's so crazy, you know, especially with having a record like Moolah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all good. I still support them and whatever they do.
So what's the follow-up record after Moolah?
I have so many.
You don't have like one ready to go?
I have 7 ready to go. That's the problem right now. I have so many different singles to where it's like, what do we go with? Do we go with this? Do we go with that? Do we go with this? So they just testing stuff to see which one gonna work.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that what you're doing at your shows? You're just testing those songs?
Yeah.
And then whatever hits?
Yeah.
Nice.